on. Hey, Josh, if you're there, I know there's a few seconds
Oh,
delay.
yep, nope. We're
Yeah.
back at this end as well.
Okay. Well, hopefully that was just a disconnect at your end and it didn't affect everyone else.
I hope so. Sorry to interrupt. Litmus test for rational beliefs. I suppose, are they coherent?
Cool. And the last one, is it irrational to ignore normative definitions?
Depends. That's quite a difficult one, to be honest.
That is a difficult one. I think maybe just a quick expansion on that. To ignore them, as in pretend they don't exist, I'd say would definitely be irrational in the sense if you're ignoring any definition of a word, it's kind of irrational, is it not?
Yeah, it will definitely make communication much harder.
Yeah. But to not use them is a bit different to ignore them. I can understand that someone deciding not to use them for whatever reason, that could be, rational. But I think to ignore any definition, so that goes for colloquial definitions as well. If we are to speak of the fact that there are different definitions to the word theory and there are contextually correct ones, but it would be irrational for us to ignore that theory can mean just an idea.
If you think about it in terms of the definition of atheism, where there is multiple definitions, if you were to say only this definition exists and all other definitions are wrong and shouldn't be used, that would be kind of irrational because those other definitions do exist and are used.
Yeah, you're making a claim that's demonstrably false, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. And if we go back to the atheist idea or skeptic idea that it's irrational to not believe a claim that has evidence, you would be dismissing a claim that has evidence. But in terms of usage of words, it's mostly about utility and mostly about being able to actually have a discussion with somebody else. So, it's quite a difficult one when it comes to language.
Yeah, that's more than fair. All right, well, if there are no more questions, I think we've covered off tonight. We've spoke a little bit about rationality. Just to remind you one more time, next week we're going to have Martin on talking about Black Lives Matter. We're going to have Josh on speaking about philosophy for kids and his podcast. And we are going to appear on Cheshire Stream for
Tuesday at 6:30.
Yeah, that's when it's penciled in for. We will confirm closer to the time, but that is going to be covering off the next part of Aaron Ra's article about what is atheism, and how he thinks rocks are atheist.
Yeah, less said about that, the better.
I think we've covered it off quite well in a number of articles we've written, and in fact, we're going to be carrying on with the discussion. Check out her stream, though. Make sure you give us a follow on Twitch. Make sure you give us a like and a follow on YouTube as well. It's really appreciative. We're really appreciative of you doing that. This talking thing, when it's live, is a lot harder than we do it on the podcast.
Yeah, and especially when it's been one of those days as well.
Yeah. You must think that, we do the talking good when you listen to the podcast. If you have
me good talk, because me big brain.
But that's a lot of editing. That's why it takes me 3 times as long to record to do the editing as it does to actually record it, because I spend so much time making us sound better than we actually are.
Yeah, he makes me sound smart, and that's a hell of a difficult job.
All right, well, thank you every much.
Thank you. Good morning, every people. We'll be better next week, I promise. We got a bank holiday weekend, so we get extra relaxation.
So next weekend I will probably be hungover. Um, right. Thank you everyone for listening, though. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. I hope you've got some questions for us. I look forward to all of your responses and seeing you all next week on Twitter, on Facebook, in our Facebook group, on answersinreason.com, and anywhere else you might find us.
Aye, good night all, and have a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
There you go. I couldn't remember the button to switch it back. Right.
That was a good one, considering how shattered we are. And it was good to see Josh pop up.
Yeah, it was nice. Thanks, Josh, for coming in. Slowly turning down the thing as we go offline. And ladies and gentlemen, this is my final goodbye for the evening. Thank you for listening to Fresh Air Sci-Fi. And hopefully I won't sound like such a moron next time.
I will.